Hi students, welcome to Clay Virtual Academy. Today's video is designed to help show you how to navigate your online virtual classroom. So to begin, we're going to go online and we're going to use the Mozilla Firefox icon, which is shown here with the orange box. We do suggest that students use Mozilla Firefox for their web browser. This is what works best with our content and our applications to do the interactives and things in the content. So if you do not have Mozilla Firefox as your web browser currently, please go ahead and try to download that to your desktop or laptop. It's an easy download through Google. Just Google Mozilla and you should be able to download it. That will give you the icon in the web browser, so that way you can hopefully not have too many issues with the content in the courses when you start working in them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Mozilla Firefox. And when you get to the web page, you want to go ahead and it'll probably bring you up to whatever home page is set for that particular web browser. But you want to go to www.flvs.net. If I can type correctly. There we go. Alright, and we're going to log in because this is where our courses will be found. So I'm going to go to the login here in the white bar and click on FLVS part-time, and that will bring me to where I can put in my login credentials. So I'm going to use a sample student here. However, your credentials, your username and password here are going to be whatever you set when you registered for Clay Virtual Courses and this particular website. Okay, so it's not going to be the same thing I'm putting in here. It's whatever you set for your login and password. But this is just to show you what you're going to see and what it's going to look like using just a sample student. So when you enter, you're going to see the student dashboard. If for some reason you do not see the student dashboard, you maybe might have a survey or some kind of questionnaire or something to complete. Just go ahead and complete that, and then you can go to the student dashboard, or if you want to skip it and come back to it, you can always go to the dashboard by clicking on the tab that says dashboard and just clicking on where it says student dashboard, and that will open up this page. One thing to bring your attention to when you are here at this page is up in the upper right hand corner next to where it says log out. There is an envelope that has a number by it, sometimes it will not. If there's no number there, that means there's no new messages, but if there is a number, like in this case there's a 3, then that means there are 3 new messages that have not been read yet. Please make sure you open these up and read these messages. They are very important information from your teachers, CVA administrators, and CVA guidance counselors. So please make sure you do check the emails here. Once you have made sure that you've checked your emails, you'll want to enter your course. So go ahead and scroll down to where your courses are listed, and you'll want to enter whatever course you are planning on working in at first. So for this particular demonstration, we're going to go into the biology class here. So I'm going to click enter the course, and then I'm going to see a pop-up. This particular pop-up tells me a security warning because it's a third-party website and it's redirecting me to a new page. Is this okay? It's perfectly fine. It's a safe website. It's just based on my security settings that are on my computer. That's why it's showing me this. So you may not get this particular pop-up. If you do though, please click continue and go ahead and head on. Okay? You may see an announcement from time to time before it sends you into the class, such as this, and this one tells you it's from our Clay Virtual Administration. Our principal will sometimes put out very important information to the students through an announcement that shows up right before you get into your actual class. So please make sure you read these, and then you can click the continue button. Once you do that, you will enter your course, or if your course teacher has a specific announcement they want to send to you, then they can send that to you and you will see it pop up here as this one has. So this one, the biology teacher has put this announcement out, and this is most likely where you got the link to watch this video, because it was probably on something like this when you were trying to get into the class. And this is used by the teacher to not only do stuff for assignments, but also to push out announcements to remind students of school holidays that might be coming up, maybe to give an incentive assignment that they're trying to get students to do. It might even be information about seniors or school events that are coming up. So please make sure you go ahead and take a look at what is there. And when you are done going through it and have the information you need, you will scroll all the way down to the bottom. And you'll see the enter the course link, and then you click that, and that'll take you into the actual course page. Okay, and once you're on the course page, this is considered the home page, and the home page is going to give you your basic information about your teacher, their name, their contact information, office hours, and then some other information that they may want you to have at your fingertips here on this home page. So just kind of scroll through it and take a look. Every teacher's home page is going to be a little bit different, so everyone has different information in addition to, of course, their name and contact information. So do take time in each of your classes to kind of check out all the possible information that's on that home page. This particular course, you have the information on how to contact the principal, how to get to tech support if you need it. There's information about the end of course exam for biology. There's page chart links. There's DBA appointment calendar link, which that should actually be on all of your teachers' home pages, and we will talk more about that in a little while. But there's all kinds of stuff that can be put on the teacher's home page, so definitely make sure that you check out their home pages. Alright, so once you're here, you want to know, what do I do now? Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to check your email once again. Communication and making sure that you stay in contact with your teacher is extremely important. So teachers use email a lot to do that. So here you have an envelope in the black bar across the top, and it also has email. And this particular email has one new message. So I would click on that first because I see that there's a message there, and I would open up my email and make sure that I read that particular email and know what's going on, because it may pertain to something specific to the course that I will need to know in order to be successful. Once you have checked your email, you can go back to your home page if you would like, okay, or you can just go directly to the lessons. The lessons is where you're going to start. So to do my lessons, I'm going to actually click on this little icon that looks like a book, and it's going to open up the menu for the lessons for this particular course. All of the courses will have that lessons icon and will have the menu for their particular course. If they're a year-long course, they're going to actually show you all of the different modules that are in both segment 1 and segment 2. But keep in mind that even in a year-long course, you're only doing one segment at a time. So finish whichever segment you are enrolled in first before you begin the next segment. Okay? So if you are doing segment 1, you'll do these first 4 modules. Segment 2, and this particular course does the last 3. Every course is different as far as how many modules are in each segment, so you'll need to pay attention to your particular course and go by that. You can think of a module like a chapter, and within each chapter there are lessons or sections. So you're going to click on one of the modules, which in most cases will be the first module that you're starting with, and you're going to open it up, and it's going to show you the first section or lesson. So you're going to want to go through the lessons to learn the content of the particular lesson, and to do that you can either, these are all going to vary just a little bit depending on the course, but basically for the most part you'll always have over on the right side of the lesson area the little home page to take you back to the home of that lesson, and then these arrows to let you arrow through the different pages of the lesson. My suggestion is to go ahead and use these particular buttons, only because that way you won't miss a page. Occasionally you'll see on these, on the tabs here, that you can kind of skip around a little bit, and that's fine and dandy if you are, coming back to a lesson that you did halfway and now you're coming back to finish it up. but my suggestion is, for most cases, just to go ahead and use the little arrows here to arrow through to the next pages, just to make sure you don't miss anything, okay? So the lessons are where you're going to learn about all of the concepts. Think about this as your textbook, okay? Or the blackboard in the teacher's brick and mortar classroom. You're going to go through all of the different pages and make sure you go through all the parts within the page. There's going to be interactives within these. Make sure you click on them and play with them. If there's a link, click on it and open it up. Notice here this has different tabs that you can actually click on, so make sure you hover over the different parts of the page to, so if there's something you can click on, click it. You want to get all the information possible, okay? When you get to the last page of the lesson, you will find the summary for that lesson, okay, telling you what you should have learned and be able to accomplish now. And then you'll find some directions for an assignment, which is also sometimes called an assessment. Okay, most of the assignments are actually referred to as assessments, even though they may be a written assignment, they may be a lab, they may be a quiz, they may be a test. Okay, and it'll tell you exactly what you're supposed to do for that assignment, what the directions are, how to complete it. It'll have links for a rubric usually if it's a written assignment, so that you know exactly how it's going to be graded. Sometimes even student examples, or a handout that gives you kind of a format to follow or a template to follow. If there are links and things that have those types of options available, please open them up so you can see exactly what's expected of you. Nothing is supposed to be a secret or some kind of secret thing and keep it from you. So I'm going to go to just a different lesson here, just because I want to make sure that you kind of see what I'm talking about with these directions, which at the end, like I said, the end of every lesson. There will be a few lessons in some of the courses that will tell you no assignment is required. Great, you don't have to worry about it. But most lessons will have an assignment. So for instance here, this one happens to have an assignment, tells you the summary, tells you the assignment, and this says view the assignment instructions, and notice that the instructions is linked. Please click on that link and open it up so that you can actually read the directions, okay? And look, it even has a place to print the page. Probably a good idea to print the page, because it's the page of the directions, so that way you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing for this assignment. Okay, and notice it opened in a separate window, so that way you still have access to your course behind it. Alright, so you'll want to do that. Click on all the different things you can do. When you go all the way to the bottom of the page, it's going to then tell you that you needed to complete all the tasks and readings, and then you needed to complete this 1.03 new technology assessment, which is what was described above and gave you the directions and all of the interactives you needed to do to complete this particular assessment. Okay, now where do you submit it though? Alright, you got the directions here, you did the interactive, you were able to see exactly what you were supposed to do, and say it's a written assignment, so you typed up your assignment or you've written it down or whatever. Where now you need to know, how do I submit this assignment? Or maybe it's a quiz, okay? There wasn't anything written to do, but it tells you you're gonna go to the assessment section to complete this assessment, and so it's going to be a quiz or something to do. So where do you go from here? So to do that, in order to submit an assessment, you're going to go to this little tray icon that's right next to the lessons and right next to the little house where you would click on to go to home page. So I'm going to click on this little tray, and when I hover over it, it says assessments. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to bring me to all of my assignment list. So this is all of my assignments in this particular course. And notice that each of the assignment names are linked so that I can click on them to open them up. So depending on what I want to submit, I will click on whatever I was working on. Okay, so in this particular assignment that I was looking at, it was 1.03. It happens to be an exam. In this case, it's going to be probably a little mini quiz. all right, but I would have had to have completed those directions, that activity that was listed on the lesson page in order to be able to do well on this particular exam, okay? So to open that up, I'm going to click on this and it'll open up the test. So if I open it up, just so you can kind of see what it looks like, and it tells me, it says exam 1.03 and it starts with the questions, and it tells me there is a checkbox at the bottom of the exam form that you must check prior to submitting the exam. Failure to do so may cause your work to be lost. Okay, so you definitely need to make sure you do that. I'm going to go back to that assessments list to show you what it would look like if it's a written assignment that has to be submitted. So if it's a written assignment that has to be submitted, clicking on this 2.01, here we go. Oh, nope, that one wasn't a written assignment either. Let's go back. Let me find you a written assignment that has to be completed right here. Alright, so this one happens to be for honor students. If you're not an honor student, you wouldn't complete this, okay? But just to show you what a written assignment looks like. So this is a written assignment, and it tells me the points possible, tells me how many submissions are allowed and how many I've submitted. So in this particular case, there's 3 allowed and none have been submitted. There's a student comment box where I can type my written assignment in here. So I can just actually type my answers and, paragraphs, essays, whatever, directly in there if that's easier for me. Or if I've done the assignment in Word or in some kind of text document or something like that, maybe a PowerPoint, or maybe I took a picture of some written work. I did it as an actual handwriting assignment and I took a picture of it and now I want to attach it as a picture file. I can do that with these optional file uploads. So I just have to scroll to where it says add files, where it has a little plus sign, add files. I click on that and it brings up the the desktop file list, so I can select my file and I can open and attach it. And before I go here, I'm going to stop because this says save for later over in the bottom left corner. I'm sorry, the bottom right corner. It says save for later, and I don't want to save it because I'm done. So I want to submit it so my teacher will grade it. So I got to check that box, and now it says submit for grading. Okay. Now if you come to this assignment, you do some of it and you're not finished and you want to come back to it, don't check the box. Okay, and then you click save and it will save what you've done so far, but it will not submit it to be graded. The teacher will not know that you even started it. So for the teacher to see it and to grade it, you have to click the check the box, submit for grading. So I click the submit for grading and it's attached to the file, and now it's submitted and it tells me thank you. Okay, and when I go back to my assessments list, it's not there anymore. That particular assignment is gone because I submitted it. Okay, so as you submit them, they go away from your list, which is a good way to kind of keep track of what you've done. However, don't just use this list as your way of doing the course. I've had, there are students that sometimes want to just go straight to the assessments list and just try to go directly through the assessments list to complete things. If you do that, when you get to these written assignment lists, written assignments, you're not going to know what to do, because notice when I was on that particular written assignment, and I'll pull another one up, when I go to a written assignment and it's not a quiz or a test, it tells me follow the directions as directed in the lesson. It does not give me the directions here. I have to have gone through my lesson to know what the directions are for that particular assignment. I would have had to go all the way through the 2.02 lesson. Okay, so it's very important that you don't just use the assessments list as your guide or your course. Okay, it's only where you go when you're ready to submit something after you've done the lessons first. Okay, all right, once you have done that, now I want to check my grades. I want to know, how did I do on the stuff I've submitted? Okay, so where do I go to find out my grades and how I did? I'm going to go to these 3 little lines up here in the black bar. When I hover over it says main menu. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to see gradebook, and I'm going to click on the gradebook. And the gradebook's going to pop up and it's going to show me how much I've completed, what percentage I'm at. It's going to tell me what my current grade is, and it's going to tell me what I've earned on the assignments I've submitted. If it has not been graded yet, it's going to just say submitted, and that just means the teacher hasn't graded it yet. If it has been graded, it will be highlighted either in red, because if it's red, it's lower than a 60%, or it'll be highlighted in a blue. If it is, I'm sorry, not blue, a green. It'll be highlighted in green if it is above a 60. We would like for students to resubmit any assignment that is lower than a 60. So if you have any reds, please open that assignment back up, or even if you have something that's a 70% and you maybe want to get an A or B on it, please resubmit. We like for students to resubmit their work. We want to see mastery. So click on the actual title of the assignment to open it back up again in your grade book, and you'll see when you scroll that there's a place that the instructor would have put some comments. If you did not score a perfect score on that particular assignment, there's most likely 99.9% of the time going to be some instructor comments here telling you what needs to be fixed, giving you some pointers, giving you some insight as to why you got the grade you got. So please read that very carefully, and if you still have questions or don't understand, contact your teacher and we will definitely help you with it, okay? But here you can resubmit. You can either redo it in the student comment section, you can add another file if you want to, and then you can click the checkbox for submit for grading and then click the box to go, okay? So you can always resubmit your assignments if you did not like the grade you got on it, so please do so. The only exception to the resubmissions is on exams. However, even on exams, if those are extremely low, or if something happened that just kind of was beyond your control, contact your teacher and talk a little bit with them, and in certain circumstances we can allow some remediation, remediation assignments, or give you something maybe to help you review a little bit more and possibly give you another attempt. It just depends on the situation, the teacher, and the course. Okay? Alright, so now you know where your grade book is and how to check your grades. And to make sure that, and how to check your feedback as well. Like I said, the instructors will give feedback on assignments, so definitely click on the assignment to open it up in your grade book so you can see what the teacher has said about it. Alright, so now that I have shown you that, I'm going to go back to my home page for the course by clicking on that little house on the black bar at the top, and I'm back at the home page. So there's just a couple more things I want to go over with you. One of them is how to find your pace chart. How do you know what to do every week? This is virtual world. We do allow students to work at their own pace. However, we do require students to submit work weekly. When you submit it is up to you. If you want to submit it every Monday, that's fine. If you want to submit a little bit every day, that's fine. If you want to submit it at midnight, that's fine. If you want to submit it at 2 in the afternoon, it is up to you, okay? But every 7 days work should be coming in, and it should be based on the pace chart that is provided for the course. That is to show good faith to the Clay Virtual Academy as well as your teachers that you are committed to the course and finishing it. So under main menu, you will see under the course information where it says PACE. If you click on that, it will give you options. Some of the courses have where you can actually do an individual PACE planner and put in your own dates, but most of them have this option already done, where it's already planned out for you. So for most students, you're going to pick the traditional PACE. You would select whether you're honors or regular. You're going to open up the PACE chart, and it'll show you how many assignments or what lessons and assignments you should be completing each week in order to complete the course in the time frame that has been allotted for it. Okay, so you can see here in this course for week 1, which would be the first week or first 7 days enrolled in the class, that there is 4 lessons / assignments to complete. 1.01, 1.00, 1.01, 1.02, 1.03. So that is what your goal is to complete within the first 7 days. For week 2, you have 3 assignments if you're honors, 2 if you are standard, and that would be something that would need to be completed within the next 7 days, so by day 14, and so on and so forth. And this is something you should probably print and have either posted on your wall, next to your computer, wherever you work, or somewhere near you so you can view it and make sure you are staying on pace. so that way you can be successful. We want our students to be successful in our classes. Alright, and then the next thing I want to show you is how to schedule a DBA. If we look under that assessments list again, all your courses will require at certain points to do discussion-based assessments, which are shortened as DBAs. You'll hear them called DBAs. This is a oral assessment. This is done over the phone with your teacher, where you will discuss parts of the module. The teacher will ask you some questions about the module to make sure that you are mastering the information and understanding the concepts completely and are ready to take the module exam. So that is done over the phone. The student is responsible for calling the teacher at their scheduled time, and the teachers do require students to make appointments for this DBA. So to make the appointment, you would go back to the home page, and on the home page of every teacher, somewhere usually in the middle, there will be some sort of button or link that will have, say schedule an appointment, book me, make an appointment, appointment calendar, appointment tool. They might have different names, but ultimately mean the same thing, something to make an appointment. So this is where you'll make your appointment for your DBA with your teacher, because all DBAs are by appointment only, and you're responsible for calling at your appointment time. That's very important. Okay. And just as a side note, some of the courses, it's called an oral quiz. So just don't get don't be confused by that. An oral quiz is the same thing as a DBA. They're the same thing. Alright, so when you get to where you're ready to make an appointment, try to plan ahead if you can. If you see one coming up, in a couple of days, go ahead and make the appointment, so that way you're not trying to, cram it in at the last minute, because most teachers will not schedule appointments the day of. But when you're ready, schedule an appointment. Click the button. All the teachers use pretty similar appointment calendars. Some of them will have this first part where you'll have to actually select what you're wanting the DBA for, so the teacher knows what class they're going to be looking at, since so many of us teach many different classes. So for this student, I'm picking DBA for biology. Then I'm going to click next. And here are the days that are available. So the ones that are underlined are the ones that are available, so you can click whatever day. And every teacher is going to have some different times, just depending on their schedules. Most teachers alternate days between, more mornings, and some days are more evenings. Just depends on, their schedule. So just pick one of the appointments and the time. And before you can actually confirm it, it's going to want you to log in. If you've used the book calendar before, with that teacher, so you're an existing student, you've already made an appointment, you would click the existing user, and you would put in your email and password that you made for that particular site. I suggest trying to make the email and or at least the password. The email will probably be your personal email, but the password, maybe make it the same one you used to log into the course, so that it's easy to remember. And then you'll log in, and that will confirm the booking. If you have not ever booked before, you're going to be a new user, and you'll have to put in some information, including your email, and you'll make up a new password. Okay? Alright, so that is how you make an appointment, and like I said before, make sure you write down your time and the date, so that way you remember to call your teacher at their scheduled time, because it is your responsibility to call the teacher when you have made your at your appointment time for DBAs. The teachers will not call you. Okay? Alright, and then one other thing before we finish out here is, you notice that there were some of these links and pages that opened up as a separate page or window. So it is very important on your web browser that you have pop-up blockers turned off. So if you use Mozilla Firefox as we suggested, and you are having problems with something opening, it's looking like it's trying to, but then it comes right back to what you are on already, and you can't get the link to open, that probably means your pop-up blockers are on. So the way to fix that is to go over here in the URL tab here, there where the three little bars are, not the black bar that's actually on the course page, but above that where your URL would be, all the way to the right corner where it has open menu where the three little lines are. If you click on that, and then you're going to go to the options, click on options, and you're going to go to security, and you're going to go, nope, it's not security. Where are you? Oh, I'm sorry, it's content. I apologize. So you're going to go to content, and you're going to go where it says pop-up blocks, pop-ups. If this little box is checked, you want to click it and uncheck it. So if it's checked, it means you're blocking things, and that's why it's not opening up. So you want to make sure that that box is unchecked. Okay? Make sure it's unchecked. And when you're done with that, you might have to click, there might be an apply button at the bottom, which I'm not able to see here, but definitely make sure that it is unchecked, so that way you don't block any of the pop-ups or windows that might be happening. Okay, so that's another little tidbit. So that is the nuts and bolts to how to navigate your online course and how to make a DBA appointment. Hopefully this has given you a better understanding about how online classrooms work and what they kind of look like. As always, however, if you have any questions at all, need any help with anything, have any concerns, or stuck on something, please make sure you use your teachers to help you. We are here to help you. Contact us if you need help. Do not hesitate. We definitely want to help you be successful, and so we only know that you need help when you let us know. All right, we look forward to a wonderful year and appreciate your time watching this video. Thank you.